As the new year gets underway, I head off in the early morning hours on my first photo trip of the year. While I'm not one for New Year's resolutions, I switched up some gear and was determined that this year would be as good a time as any to accomplish some things that I've always wanted to try in my work. So, with the promise of good snow and cold temperatures, I make my way to Elk River, Idaho, to begin experimenting with how I want to incorporate new methods of traversing the snow-filled backcountry. As I arrive at my location, I find that while there is not as much snow on the ground as I would have hoped, it would still be a good time as any to get my first foray into cross-country skiing. With that decision made, I quickly unpacked my gear and headed off into the darkness. With only my headlamp to light the way, I carefully make my way down the Forest Service road in search of a composition. At first, I had a little trouble with balancing and getting started, but soon I was able to get things working. Mostly. After about an hour in, light snowflakes started to fall. This was the type of weather I was hoping for, because I really wanted to see if I can get a fairly minimalistic shot of the surrounding forest and the mountains. And after a few miles in, I find a location that I think might work. I find that the skis allow me to set up quick in the winter, as all I have to do is unclick the bindings and I'm free to move around. This is a welcoming change over snowshoes, which involves a more complicated binding and therefore takes longer to get out and, just set the camera up. The light hasn't quite shown up yet, but even in the pre-dawn glow, I can see that my spot may indeed yield some good results. Excitedly, I set up my camera and point it to my first composition of the day. Now that the snow was becoming heavier, and combined with the fact that the lake was very flat, I decided it was time to pack up and head back to the trucks. To be honest, today was more about seeing if backcountry skiing could be a viable option instead of snowshoeing than it was about photos. But I'm pleased that I was able to get away with 2 compositions. At the end of the day, as I get back to my truck, I just kind of reflect on, while there wasn't as much snow that I would like, and the temperature was a bit warmer than expected, I walked away from this trip thinking of it as a success. I have much to work on as far as ski technique goes, but I do think that this may be the way forward when it comes to exploring the Forest Service back roads. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.